Welcome! This tutorial will discuss formatting and design standards to implement when creating new learning objects for your course as they relate to accessibility. Why is accessibility important? Implementing accessibility standards ensures that people with hearing, visual, motor, and cognitive disabilities can use and interact with your materials. Accessibility in practice also makes your materials easier to use and be understood by all users. Different aspects of formatting and design that we will cover in this tutorial include descriptive hyperlinking, document formatting such as heading styles, using bullets and numbering for lists, and adding alt text to images in your materials. Implementing these standards means that your work will be compatible with assistive technologies, including screen reader software. Screen readers are programs that allow blind or visually impaired users to read the text that is displayed on the computer screen with a speech synthesizer or braille display. JAWS, Job Access with Speech, NVDA, Non-Visual Desktop Access, and VoiceOver are examples of screen reading software. They interface between the computer's operating system, its applications, and the user. Alt, or alternative text, is a short description you write for images included in your learning object that will be read aloud by screen readers. Alt text can also be helpful for users on mobile devices or with slow internet connections, so the text can be read if images are not loading or turned off. This is an example of an image on an OpenLab site. In editing mode, there is a place to add alt text under Image Settings. When writing alt text, keep the description short and informative. Do not include the words photo of or image of because the screen reader will already indicate to users that this is an image file. For image files that represent concepts and information, such as charts or graphs, include alt text that briefly conveys the essential information presented by the image. Hyperlinking to resources should be meaningful, descriptive, and concise. Here are a few tips when embedding a hyperlink in text. Embed the hyperlink in a sentence with text that could stand alone. Do this. Please read the City Tech Library's OER resource guide for our next class meeting. Here the hyperlink describes the resource it is taking you to. If the link were to break, the user still has the possibility to search for the resource independently. Don't use links that don't make sense out of context. Avoid this. Get the reading for our next class meeting here. The word here does not give us any information about the reading, such as author or title. Don't use exposed URL addresses. Avoid get the reading for our next class meeting in the entire URL address. Exposed hyperlinks such as these are not great for screen reader users. A screen reader will read this URL address character by character instead of as a phrase. Avoid using images as links. Use text instead. Images used as links are difficult for screen readers and can be unclear for anyone using your site. A user might not even know that the link exists. Links should open in the same tab. Having links open in a new tab or window takes control away from the people using your site and means the browser's back button will not work. It is confusing for someone using a screen reader and can be confusing or disorienting to many people who rely on the browser's back button for navigation. If it is necessary to use new tabs, it is best to warn users first. Using headings to create a logical structure in your materials allows people using screen readers to navigate among different sections, and helps sighted readers scan a page to better understand where to focus their attention. Use specific heading styles rather than bold or italics to indicate a heading on your OpenLab site, in Microsoft Word, or another word processing document. The heading 1 style should only be used once per page. Don't use heading 2 styles too often. They should be reserved just for subsection titles. Breaking text and media into smaller sections, or chunks, makes scanning easier for users, and can improve their ability to comprehend and remember information. Using headings can help you achieve smaller, digestible sections. Keep related items close together and aligned, and use bullet points and numbered lists when appropriate for organization and ease of scanning. Here is an example of an introductory text from the Open Educational Resources Fellowship with little or poor formatting. It is challenging to parse the information presented to the user here. We can see how the text is transformed when formatted according to best accessibility practices. It arranges the information into digestible chunks and presents the material with an intellectual organization that is understandable, allowing the user to easily navigate the text in a variety of ways. If you choose to use color in your course site, slideshow, or syllabus, choose high contrast colors to create good separation between text and background. Avoid red or green, which can be difficult to read and may not be seen by people with color blindness. Choosing low contrast color combinations, such as in this slide, or this one, can make content illegible for sighted users, as well as those with visual impairments. Once you have created your teaching materials, there are tools that you can use to check that your documents meet accessibility standards. Wave, the web accessibility tool, is a web-based software that you can use to analyze how accessible any website is that you have created or may use in your teaching. After inputting the URL of a web page, it will give you a summary of any accessibility and web content accessibility guideline errors found on a web page and the ability to evaluate each notation. Similarly, Microsoft Office 365 offers an accessibility checker across its many applications in the software suite, including Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook. You will find the Check Accessibility button under the Review tab in the ribbon. After you run the accessibility checker, you can review your results. You'll see a list of errors, warnings, and tips with how to fix recommendations for each. To easily address accessibility errors and warnings, select an issue to open the recommended actions list. You can apply a one-click fix by selecting an action or select the arrow button next to an action for more options.